Hey guys, Matthew Rogers here with Practical Bassing. And yesterday we got to go to the ISE, the International Sportsman Expo. We got to interview some guys. The video, it's too long for just one. So we're gonna either split it up to 2 or 3 videos. In my first video, I interviewed 3 guys. My first is Nick Smith from The Informative Fisherman on YouTube, James from River to Sea, and my buddy Double G, Greg Gutierrez. Let's check out the show and watch the interviews. Hey guys, Matthew Rogers here with Practical Bassing, and we're at the ISE, and we're here with Nick Smith from Informative Fisherman. He has his own YouTube channel, and we were going to ask him a few questions. Who inspired you to go fishing?
Believe it or not, my father got me into fishing first, but it runs in my blood. My mom's mom, my grandma, that lived in Michigan, she has the fishing fever. She would never get off the water. She won panfish tournament after panfish tournament. She was die-hard fisherman, and I think it's in my blood. Ever since I was little, it didn't matter if it was a creek or a pond or a little puddle of water. If there was something swimming in there, I wanted to catch it. So I would say my father and my grandma. Isn't that funny?
Yeah. What advice would you give to a young fisherman?
The best advice I can give to a young fisherman is don't expect to catch them every time, because if you go out there and it's tough, don't think that the bite's not any good and don't run home. That is the best time to learn. Start playing with different lures, retrieving it differently, and find out ways to get bites when it is very difficult, because the best guys, the reason why they're the best is because they fish those difficult days just like you guys, just like you, just like me, but they stuck it out and they learned a way to get 1 or 2 fish where other guys didn't know how. So stay confident even on the slow days.
If you were to change one thing that you did wrong in your past career, what would that be?
If I can change one thing that I did wrong in my bass career is I would get upset about losing fish, or I would get upset that something didn't go the way I wanted it to. And I think we get upset when something doesn't go the way we want it to because we think other people think we need to do it a certain way. Be you, be yourself, be very happy and be confident, and just be you and have fun, and don't worry about anything else. And if you lose a big fish, still know that you tricked him into biting, and that should be good enough to learn more from.
Thank you, Nick Smith, for your time.
Brother.
Hey guys, I'm here with James from River to Sea, and we're gonna ask him a few questions. So, what's your best-selling bait?
Our best-selling bait right now is the Whopper Plopper. Pretty much every size sells really well. The 75, the 90, the 110, the 130, and the 190 all sell very well for us.
What's your favorite bait to make?
I don't really have a favorite bait to make. One of my favorite baits to throw is our S-Waver 168. It's probably one of the most popular glide baits out on the market.
And the final question is, what's some advice you'd give to young fishermen?
Young fishermen, I think you guys just spend as much time on the water as you can. Don't worry about sponsors, don't worry about those things. Just spend as much time on the water as you can and collect all the knowledge. There's no substitute for on-the-water training.
Thank you, James, for your time. I'm here with Greg Gutierrez, and I was going to ask him some questions. So, on your seminar, you were showing us some frenzy baits.
Yep.
What's your favorite? Why is the nail bait your favorite?
Well, here's the deal. With the nail, I can do a lot of things with it, okay? So first of all, it's a stand-up head. So I can have it as a stand-up head all day long. It stands up. The thing about it is I buy one bait, one jig head, and I can do a lot of things with it. I could rig it as a straight tube jig, just like everybody else would, and it's a tube jig. I can rig it on a worm weedless, 1/4 inch, goes in upside down. Here's the beauty of this thing, okay? is when you go to cast, it doesn't ball up, it doesn't come off. So now the bait stands up. But if I want to take this off and save it, I just flip it over and it slides right off. It won't come off. So it saves your worm. You can use it again. Back to the tube. Put it in 1/4 of an inch, slide it in upside down, flip it over, and now I can actually fish the tube weedless standing up. Besides that, I can go to the beaver style baits, the other baits, do the same exact thing. Goes in, so this one's torn up, see? Yeah. And see how used up that is? So now, you put it in, it's ready to fall off anything else. Turn it around, now it won't come off. That barb just holds it in place, and now your beavers and stuff like that are in the upright position. You can use your baits over and over and over again, and fish love it the way it stands up. So that's kind of why it's my favorite. I can use it doing a lot of different things. I know it's a long description, but that's why. It's just a cool thing.
So my second question is, so you also showed a backlash trick for your casting rods.
Yes.
Could you show us those?
Let me get a rod real quick. Hang on.
Okay.
So here's how it works, and I'll explain it again the way I did before. Is usually what happens is your line's going out and something stops the line, but the spool keeps going, and you see how the line just keeps going. It's filling that line up from the outside in. That's what's happening. When guys see that, they try and pull the line, and it tightens up everything on top. What you want to do is just hold the line there like this, and you start reeling it up, and it feeds everything back underneath, and then you can go through and kind of straighten it out. And what I'll show you what it looks like when a backlash really happens, okay? Okay, so we got this big old, we got our casting reel, we get a backlash. So instead of having, get a backlash. Instead of having all that there and trying to pick it out, again, put your thumb on the reel and you reel it up from the inside out, and then all that stuff goes in. If there's any loose line, I can just fix that real quick and then reel it up. Make sense? Yep. Go ahead.
And then my third question was, if you were to give advice to a young fisherman, what advice would you give?
Pay attention to what you want to do in life, okay? If you want to be a professional fisherman, you're going to need to know about marketing. You're going to need to know about all kinds of stuff, your math, all your science, all that stuff comes into play. Because like these things, this is all designed on angles, hook angles of which allows it to go through grass, rocks, all that stuff, football heads, hydrology, how water flows. All those things are important, especially if you start writing and doing interviews and portfolios. You need to be able to write and articulate. So best thing to do, go to school, get your time in, get your education strong, and utilize that to help your fishing skills as you're practicing.
Thank you, Double G, for your time.
No problem, thank you.
Thanks, Nick, for that great advice about not being mad when you lose a fish. I've done that, and you can check that video down in the link below. James, he told us about his best-selling bait, and that is the Whopper Plopper in any size. And I'm not surprised because it's my favorite bait to throw. My Bone 90 Whopper Plopper. I have a video about catching my old PB, and we'll put that in the links below. And finally, our last interview for the first video was Double G, Gutierrez. He showed us a backlash trick, and I will definitely use that in the future. We're gonna have new interviews coming. I know you guys are gonna like those. But if you like today's video, make sure to hit that thumbs up. Make sure to subscribe to my channels so you don't miss any more new videos. And if you can, comment below, and I'm gonna try to reply to you guys. Thanks for watching on Practical Bassin. See you guys later.